Hello guys and welcome back to Wicked-Whiskers. It's been like 18 days of a break for my filming, so I hope you liked that intro aerial view of my hometown, especially my residential part. And one of the first comments which I noticed during this break was how this badger brush actually feels like, so why not recall a little bit. So I didn't use it for a long time, I guess maybe a few times after purchasing, so I will just dip it in a bowl of water, and for the soap I'll be using Trade Winds by Moon's Soaps Shaving Company, and the razor which I used for all these days is Henson AL13. I know it is a little bit repetitive, but anyhow, these days I just feel like I just want to use something very mindless, and let's go with the soap. So the Badger brushes were very tempting for myself during the time, and it took me a while to get the courage and to gain some additional fundings for this brush. So this is Yaqi Aqua. I think it is Two-Band Badger. For me it was maybe a little bit less, under 30 euros if I remember. So maybe it was like 27, 28, something like that. And I bought it 1 year ago, so for 1 year I remember a few other brushes which cost me way less and I used them a lot more. So let's see, did I water down this soap too much? No signs of dripping, so this is okay. And we will see how the lathering goes. So, the feels of the Badger brush, it's something undisputed. It's neither a fish nor a girl, so not so soft as synthetics, not so plucky as and scrubby as boar brushes, so something in the between. And I must say that this Badger fur is pretty dense, it's pretty packed, so it's, like a blob of fur. It is a ridiculously dense brush for this amount of money. And I think this now has the correct consistency for the shave. So, while we are at the razor, I learned one funny thing about a Henson razor, and that was it only feels light and undecisive if you use it straight after some other razor. So if you compare it right after Mueller Roca or R41, or Gillette Slim Adjustable, then it feels a little bit light, aluminum handle, it feels sort of flimsy, but it is super efficient. So going on the other side, I cannot recall which shave this is, and I'm using Fly Deer blade again. So my guess is this is third or fourth, because it does sense just a little bit of tugging, meaning that flight ear is not so sharp, and in all other razors, flight ear tends to die about third shave. For those of you who are a little bit longer on this channel, you might notice that occasionally I'm suffering from some weird weepers, and it's most likely because sometimes I'm just pressing a little bit too hard or feel way too comfortable with certain razor. And Henson AL13 really cured this disease for me, because it is a light razor which feels very light on the skin, and basically if I do everything, light, surprise surprise, no nicks. Now, as with some other mild razors, the good thing to keep in mind is don't expect to have everything shaved in a first pass. So don't go too much on unleathered skin. If you feel that the blade is not grabbing enough, just don't force it. Because after all, it is getting that smooth, only not so straightforward, So you will make a few extra steps, but they won't be so painful. So, for the first pass, I would say this is remarkably good, but since I already have a lot of leather, I will just take a little bit more soap, simply because this brush really drank a lot of my leather. I've been using synthetics for way too long, and naturally I lost some touch for the Badger, and as you can see there is plenty of leather in the knot, so as always we will reuse this. And let's perform some cleanup. So just a little bit on the neck. Again, this razor feels very light, so I'm not pressing it. I'm just letting the blade to grab that whisker tips which are left after the first pass. And here is the first sign of bad blade, small nick. Now regarding the AL13, I always feel very surprised how such a mild razor with such a small blade gap, if you can see it, is able to cut so smooth and so direct. So it's just like it is grabbing from the very surface of your skin any stray whiskers. But nothing more than that. A little bit on the right side. Now, as this blade is pretty tuggy, I promise you guys that next time I will definitely change both razor and the blade. Because right now I'm simply not enjoying anymore as I did on the beginning. So definitely that first pass really killed this fly deer blade. A little bit under the nose. And this is it. Okay, so this soap really required a little bit more rinsing than I expected. And with the Badger brush I probably took a little bit more soap than I actually needed. But in overall, as you can see, it looks pretty nice, smooth, no irritation, no nicks, no nothing. So definitely mild razor. If you're facing any difficulties in your life, relax with this one. Regarding the brush, I don't know. Maybe my technique is wrong. Maybe I should definitely use it with the bowl leathering, just to give it a little bit more time to expand, to develop the leather. But anyhow, what can I say, it worked quite well. So a little bit of Brion splash. Like you're applying simple tap of water, no burning, no irritation. 18 days of shaves like this and you simply don't have any desire to complicate your life even more, not even to film for YouTube. So I hope you like this. Stay tuned. We have something new coming from Black Friday sales. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.